What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Brad here from Big MX Radio, back with another installment of some classic moto. Now, if you're around my age, I'm 35 years old or older, you probably absolutely loved Travis Pastrana. This entire era of athletes is absolutely star-studded. I'd argue that at this time, more was known about the top 10 in each class than either one of the classes that are currently being racing than even today. Even with all of the saturation that we have in moto media, where it's there's probably more content that came out of Southwick just this last weekend than the entire 2001 season. Less video, less photos, everything back then. Everything just came out slower. Like there was guys were still shooting film in 2001. I don't know if everyone was still shooting film, but guarantee there were still a few guys at the races who were shooting film cameras back in 2001. So this is actually a cool series, and I actually did a podcast with Keith Johnson that you can check out on Big MX Radio. We actually talked about this race where he ends up getting fourth. Spoiler alert. Which did feature a podium in a moto. So check this out. You got Grant Langston on the KTM. You got Travis Pastrana. This is one of Travis's last races on a 125 before things sort of got a little bit sideways. Washougal, and ultimately his last race on a 125 being Millville, which was only 2 weeks after this. So guys, check out this video. This is I have a whole catalog of old races that I can go through. I'm gonna talk to you guys a little about these a little bit. This is actually a really cool season as well because this is Ricky Carmichael's last season on a Kawasaki KX252 stroke, of course, tuned by the great Chad Watts, who was his mechanic all of his first 5 years as a mechanic, including his first perfect season, which would have been in 2002, which is the year after this. This is, like I said, this is a really, really neat season. 2001, you've got is it, Carmichael is a defending champion. He won the title in 2000. Prior to that, in 99, was Greg Albertine. He's a one-time champion. I think at this point, even in 2001, Albertine might already be, I don't think he's out of the series or out of the sport altogether, but this is definitely his last season. And yeah, like, so both classes are really interesting to watch. The video is about 2 hours long. If you like it, hopefully you'll like this. Leave me a comment below. I always appreciate any of the positivity. And yeah, if you have any particular requests of races you haven't seen or you haven't seen them on YouTube, I might have them, and hopefully I do. I can help you guys out with that. But yeah, listen to Big MX Radio. Check out these videos. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss one of these. And I appreciate all of you guys taking the time to listen or watch. And let's check out Southwick 2001.
From Southwick, it's round 4 of the AMA Chevy Trucks U.S. Motocross Championships. Hello, everybody. Art Ekman, along with David Bailey, Davey Coombs, ready to bring you some of the finest motocross action in the world. Going into this 4th round, both classes find the defending champions trailing in points. The weather certainly is not an excuse. It is beautiful. Both classes running 2 motos each, 30 minutes plus 2 laps for each moto. The overall winner determined by those finishes.
And I always love coming here to Southwick, Art. The track, when you drive in, is so smooth, but you know in a few hours it's going to be the roughest track of the year. They haven't changed it. Sand changes enough when the bikes get to it. Davey Coombs is going to take us around to these highlighted areas.
You see when they slow down, you get close, that's where your pounds come from. Sorry, Keith. Down out of the woods. See how the braking bump's forming up here. You want to try and stick us inside berm. It seems like this track can be one line, but not. A lot of variety here. The inside line here. This is the only double on the track. Go inside or outside here. The object is keep your speed going. Keep your speed going wherever you are.
It's been an exciting points race, as you can tell from the Suzuki point standings. Langston with an 8-point advantage on Pastrana. Michael Brown in 3rd, Kane and Danny Smith rounding out the top 5. With the 1-month break for the European GP riders, many of them have come over here, and that is the reason we have so many champions from around the world. Pastrana and Grant Langston last year's champions on both sides of the water. Steve Lamson, of course, he's a two-time 125 National Motocross champion. Fonseca, Damon Huffman, Nathan Ramsey, all capturing their titles on this side of the Atlantic, where Quixote and Bollé got their titles in Europe. Of course, Quixote a major part in the 99 Motocross des Nations Championship, as was Carmichael for the United States last year. Joel Smets, Doug Henry, Mike LaRocco. Boy, what a packed field we have for today's race. Tortelli, a two-time world motocross champion, trying his luck in America. Lusk and Tim Ferry, both winning Supercross championships. John Dowd, he's won at this track before, a 125 West Supercross champion, along with Rencata, who won that title in the East. Taking a look at the Suzuki starting grid, Grant Langston, Travis Pastrana, Damon Huffman, and Roderick Tane. The top four riders, with Brock Sellards, Mike Brown, Ernesto Fonseca, and Danny Smith expected to get in the mix, along with Nathan Ramsey and the veteran Larry Ward. You know, we came to Southwick, David Bailey, expecting another exciting 125 matchup between last year's GP champion Grant Langston and the defending U.S. champion Travis Pastrana. But Langston, currently leading Pastrana by only 8 points in practice, went down really hard.
Well, it's a shoulder injury, and they're not even sure if he's going to be able to ride or not. Travis also went down hard, so the top of the field is looking weak today.
A separated shoulder for one, a concussion for the other. Let's check in with Davey.
Team KTM Red Bull suffered a terrible break yesterday, literally. When 125 National Championship points leader Grant Langston fell on his shoulder and had what's called an AC fracture to the ligament. He tried to gut it out in the parade lap. There's no word on whether he's going to ride here or not. He wanted to go out and try it. No practice for Langston. The irony is this is the third time that a world champion came to America and got hurt while leading the points. It happened back in 1990 to Jean-Michel Bale in the 125 championship. It happened in 1999 to Sebastian Tortelli. A terrible break for Langston and the KTM Red Bull team, but he is going to try to ride.
If he was not that close in points, David Bailey, he wouldn't be on that bike right now. He'd be on the operating table. As the 32nd board is sideways, we take a look at Mike Brown, number 100, along with Langston right next to him. Let's see how Langston can start this race. I don't know how he's doing it. Moto 1 of the 125s is underway. Nathan Ramsey gets the whole shot. Ramsey of Yamaha of Troy. And a pile up on the first turn. I can't believe it. Grant Langston looks like he's in second place. Way, Ward, Kelly Smith involved in the crackdown in that first turn. Look at that, Langston, 111. How long can he hold on?
I don't know how he's holding on at all, Art. I never had a shoulder injury, but I've talked to people that have, and they can't even lift their arm up above their head. The strength that it takes to ride this track, he couldn't have picked a worse track to try to ride like this.
Brown made his move on the downhill. He's in second place.
This is where I expect Brown to be really aggressive, really fast. The guy is in excellent shape, and his corner speed, we keep talking about that this year, but that's really important here in the sand. You get a good drive up some of these hills. Keeping up your momentum in the sand is the main thing. As soon as you let that power or the speed drop a little bit, the front end wants to dive, and you lose all your momentum, especially on the 125.
Ramsey on the YZ250F Yamaha of Troy machine. That four-stroke out in front of the Pro Circuit two-stroke Mike Brown.
Ramsey's setting a fast pace right now. Look at the distance they already have on third.
Whoa, Ramsey fishtailing. Mike Brown taking advantage of it. The Pro Circuit rider out in front now as Ramsey tries to fight back.
Well, I don't know if Ramsey can do anything about it. Watch as he comes into this corner. Ramsey doesn't straighten up soon enough. He's still leaned in and he slides. Look at the line. Brown almost hits the back tire of Ramsey just to make sure he gets by, gets the inside for the pass.
Ramsey still in line, though, for his best finish of the year in a moto. Previous to this, it was a 6th place in the second moto at Hangtown. There's Grant Langston in that secondary pack.
I don't know how he's doing this. Whoa!
Oh! James Fink flew off his Yamaha there in the sand.
He was right next to Pastrana when he did it. Luckily, he didn't get him collected. Watch, you see Travis come by just to the left there. I don't know if they clipped or not, but that's a bad place to fall. It's a blind spot, so he is just a sitting duck right there.
Flagman on the scene to protect James Fink as we come back out in front now with Mike Brown starting to pull a little lead on Nathan Ramsey.
Ramsey can learn a lot because Brown is hot right now. I think this track really suits him. You can see already he's starting to copy the lines of Brown. So aggressive down that hill into the corner. See, when you let off and you hit all those braking bumps, the bike starts bouncing around. When you hit him under power, you're able to muscle through there a little bit smoother.
So Mike Brown, who has one bad race this year, is trying to get back in the points race. We'll be right back.
This is the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. And the 2001 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
This summer, be fast on a Honda CR. And get up to 300 bonus bucks from your Honda dealer. Plus, no down payment, no payments, and no interest for 3 months with your Honda card. Or be gone on Honda's champion CBRs and be rewarded with monthly payments as low as $139 with your Honda card. This summer, be hot, red hot at your Honda dealer.
How much PC can $849 get you? More PC than we can tell you about in 30 seconds. A super fast Intel Pentium 3 processor, CD-ROM, accelerated graphics, pro quality audio system, monitor, one-touch internet access, lots of memory, plus 5 color choices, red, green, blue, purple, and orange. And that's just for starters. The compact Presario 5000T. Let us build one for you. Call us direct at 1-800-331-0403 for all this, and we'll double your memory for free. Hey, do I have time to mention the...
More riders. More classes. More championships. More than ever. Suzuki. Rising stars to superstars.
The Chevy Trucks AMA Motocross Series is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Honda, the company that defines performance on 2 wheels. Performance first. Welcome back to our first 125 moto. Mike Brown, our leader, followed by Nathan Ramsey on the Yamaha 4-stroke number 28. Then a local boy, Keith Johnson out of Massachusetts, Pembroke, Massachusetts. And there is Grant Langston, remarkable, in a battle for 6th place.
Yeah, with guess who?
Travis Pastrana.
Now look at him on the outside. Travis loves tracks like this because he can get really creative. And there's an example.
They almost collide as they get near the mechanics area.
That creativity is great as long as your competitors know about it. Right there, Travis had a good line. Langston didn't have any idea where he's coming from. They almost both went down.
We saw the finesse and domination that Grant Langston can put on other riders in the first 2, winning all 4 motos this year. But here we're seeing a great deal of courage.
Well, especially the section he's approaching as they come around this sweeper and head down this hill. That's so much wear and tear on your shoulder. I can't even begin to explain. He's got to be just, if you could see his face right there, it'd be ugly. I know he's got to be just gritting his teeth through all these braking bumps.
Langston holding on to 6th place. Travis Pastrana in 7th, trying to pick up points. Travis, a look to the inside. And Pastrana makes the pass.
That was pretty bold. Travis went down the outside last time. This time, it looked like their lines were coming together a little bit, and Langston backed out of that, saying if you want it that bad, you can have it.
You've heard about the shifting sands on a desert, but this track changes every lap because of the sandy soil.
See their lines? Looks like Langston and Travis are going to come together. Langston backs out of it. Travis makes that aggressive move stick. I'll tell you what, you know, you talk about this track getting rougher, Art. It's going to get worse. Every couple of laps, it gets a lot worse. And that just is going to make it more difficult for Langston to try to hold on all day.
There's Pastrana, but Langston's not letting him off the hook. He's keeping right on his tail.
Well, that's the championship right there. And these are the guys that have put a big gap on Mike Brown in third. He's leading today, but he's had some bad luck that's dropped him out of this points chase. So all Langston really needs, I can't believe the guy's riding, but I've been there before. You do what you have to do to win a championship. He's going to lose some ground today, but maybe he can preserve the title.
Here's our field summary. Brown, Ramsey, Keith Johnson. Pastrana now in 6th in front of Langston. Smith. Former winner here, Steve Lampson, in 11th place. Scott Sheik in 16th. Bonds and Ward, who got tangled up in that first turn melee, in 17th and 18th. And the Dutch rider has slipped down to 20th right now. It's got to be a difficult assignment, him coming over to the United States on this track especially. Langston 111. He's proved to everyone he's for real. Not only the Supercross victory, where Euros have not had a great deal of Supercross experience. He had none coming over to this season. But also winning the first 4 motos here in the American Motocross Series. This kid is a potential superstar.
And everybody knew he would be fast outdoors, but to win the first 4 motos of the series on tracks he'd never seen was pretty impressive, and I'm more impressed now with the effort that he's putting in today.
Gaining lots of respect, Grant Langston. You see Keith Johnson now in 3rd is starting to get a challenge now from Fonseca.
There's one Grand Prix regular out in the 125 class right now. It's Mark de Roover. He's a Sandmaster from Belgium. Missing for the field right now is former 3-time world champion Alessio Chiodi. Chiodi came over on a Yamaha. He was expected to do very well, but he got hurt this morning in practice. Chiodi had to go to the hospital with a back injury. At first, it was feared it was going to be really bad. As it turns out, he's got his feeling and everything, but it looks like he might be done for the season. Certainly done for the afternoon here at Southwick. Alessio Chiodi, another bad break and a long string of bad breaks.
What a career of contrast for Chiodi, who's a 3-time 125 GP world champion and was an intricate part in Italy's very first Motocross the Nations victory down in Brazil in 1999. But he comes to the United States and seems to get hurt every time. He got hurt in Phoenix at Supercross as well.
He reminds me a little bit of Albertine in the way, whoa, Fonseca. Well, he was lucky that he didn't get landed on by Pastrana there. So he's going to lose, looks like, a few positions. Kept it running, though. That was a weird swap. The back end just hops away from him right here. It goes way out to his right. Now, what's Travis think? Yeah, that's going to be disaster unless he gets lucky. He jumps the bike. Does what Travis does best, jump it all.
Keith Johnson, the top privateer in the opener, is still in 3rd. Davey?
Well, Bob, we always knew that Southwick was Keith Johnson's track, but man, 3rd is pretty good.
Yeah, he's riding really good. He's been training real hard this year and just waiting for this race all year long. So,
what was his expectation coming in?
Top 5.
But so far, so good.
Yeah, even a little better. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks.
Now if these guys would just figure out how to bring that home track mentality to every race. You know, you see guys like Dowd come up here, Henry come up here, and they win these things back to back on any size bike. And then they go to other tracks and they don't have that same magic. I've always been puzzled by that.
Mike Brown still out in front with Ramsey and Johnson rounding out the top 3. We'll be back with more of our first moto in the 125s right after this.
If cable television advertising's ability to deliver precision audience targeting is just what your business needs, but not having a commercial is holding you back, there's great news for you. Adelphia Media Services has a staff of advertising and commercial production professionals that can have you on the air with an effective, high-quality commercial that will reach your customers and get them through your door. Put your business where it needs to be. Adelphia Media Services, your link to your customers.
In today's fast-paced world, getting your oil changed shouldn't slow you down. Here at Texaco Express Lube, Express is our middle name. Zoom on in, and our crew will pamper your car with our Star Service oil change. Texaco Express Lube offers a full menu of automotive preventive maintenance services. Choose Haviland Formula 3 motor oil and zoom on out. Texaco Express Lube, conveniently located in Sterling on Route 7 in front of Regal Cinema. No appointment necessary. Texaco, a world of energy.
Tonight on ESPN at 7 and 7:30, play along with ESPN's all-new 2-minute drill, followed by the season Tiger Woods at the U.S. Open, then Sports Center. On ESPN2, RPM Tonight delivers the latest news from the world of auto racing, followed by the 2001 X Trials, and later it's Tuesday Night Fights. And on ESPN Classic, SportsCentric profiles tennis great John McEnroe, then it's Tyson Tillis from '86, followed by Mike Tyson's greatest hits. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
Number 100, Mike Brown, leading our first moto for the 125s, a dominating lead. And for the very difficult sandy track, let's check in with Davey Coombs for this week's Kawasaki bike setup.
If you follow the AMA Chevy Trucks National Motocross Circuit, then you know that Southwick means sand. So for this week's Kawasaki bike set, we thought we'd talk to Steve Henderson, who wrenches for Mike Brown on the Splitfire Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. Steve, what do you got going for Mike this week?
This week we changed the bike a little bit on the suspension. Stiffened up the front forks, a little bit stiffer on the spring, a little bit softer on the rear spring just to let the front end sit up in the sand, let the back end sit down a little bit. Tires, we've gone for a wide knobble tire just to keep make the back end hook up there a little bit, and the front also make it steer a little bit better in the stand. Sprockets, we went one bigger on the rear sprocket this morning, and then now we're back down to the 51 on the rear, and we'll see how it goes.
All right. We'll see how Mike Brown does. That's this week's Kawasaki bike setup.
Joining the action, Nathan Ramsey, number 28 in second position, but he is being hounded by Travis Pastrana.
You see that little thing he did there where he wheelied those last few braking bumps? That's the kind of stuff you've really got to be good at on a track like this, because lap after lap it changes so much. Usually Travis is a little bit more creative.
Pastrana now working to the inside. Ramsey got hung up outside, and Pastrana now has moved into second place. Pastrana, after a very mediocre start, he was 11th after the end of the first lap. Oh, Ramsey goes down. He just hooked right there in the corner. Trying to restart the four-stroke now as riders begin to pass. Ramsey gets it going fairly rapidly. Oh, and a Suzuki going down in the upper berm there. Could have been Danny Smith, could have been Rodney Tane. Didn't get a chance to see the number plate once again.
Watch Ramsey gets into the berm. He hit one more braking bump before he got into the berm. He got a little bit different line than Travis. Travis kind of swooped his way in. You can see he already looks back, checks the traffic, takes his time restarting the bike. Only took him 3 kicks to get going, so he didn't lose that much time.
And here is our leader, Mike Brown. Boy, what a great race he's had. Brown, Pastrana, and Johnson. Let's check in with Davey Coombs, who's with Michael's mechanic. Davey?
Well, Steve, we just looked at a stopwatch. You're 25 seconds ahead, and when are you going to tell Mike to slow down, maybe save low for the second moto?
I don't think I will. I think I'll leave Mike to run his own race. You know, if he slows down now, we start losing momentum and maybe making some mistakes. So I think it's best he keeps running at the pace he's running.
What do you think this will do for his confidence, having won his first moto at a track where Travis basically guaranteed to win?
I'm sure it'll be a big boost to Mike, but, you know, we still got a second race to run, so let's hope that we can go on that one as well.
But a moto win must feel good.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be good. It's good for everybody. We've been waiting for it for a long time.
Mike had 5 wins last year in the GP circuit, finishing 3rd in the 125s in the World Championships. Before he left for Europe, he had 1 motocross championship, and that was at Washougal. Jeff Nutter, his mechanic, lost the bet that day.
And some hair.
They shaved all the facial hair off of Jeff. Even Jeff's son had never seen him without a beard.
Yeah, Jeff looks different now, that's for sure. I'll tell you what, Mike Brown out front leading it. It's learned a great deal from Europe. I'm seeing a different guy out here, a much more mature rider. You learn so much, and to go over there and win 1 GP, I mean, you come home with a whole new sense of confidence. And for him to win 5 of them, finish 3rd in that championship, being over here with the convenience of America, leading these races is no problem for him.
Opportunities were drying up in America. His career was kind of in a last chance qualifier phase when he went over there with an open mind. There's Paul Curry, number 34, in 5th. He's starting to put a little heat on Nathan Ramsey in 4th. Ramsey, number 28.
This is the part of the race where you just don't want pressure. That's the corner where he fell before. Now he's using the line Travis had where he goes around that last little braking bump into the berm. It's a much smoother transition, and you better find everything he can find right now because Curry's got it dialed. From Florida, this guy can ride in the sand.
What was that photographer taking a picture of in that corner? You almost had the camera in the guy's hip pocket.
It's going to be close.
Ramsey and Curry battling it out right now as Michael Brown, still our leader, has led every lap but the opener here on our first moto. Checking out the Chevy Trucks motocross schedule, you'll see us in Buchanan, Michigan, Unadilla, Troy, Ohio, Washougal, the next 4 dates. And then we finish up at Minnesota, New York, and Pennsylvania. Hope you can join us.
Hold on! I'm coming for you!
The Suzuki King Quad is the only all-terrain vehicle that has a 3-speed sub-transmission and locking front differential that allows you to transfer power equally to all 4 wheels to get you where you need to go.
I'm coming! Ah! I almost lost you there.
The King Quad from Suzuki.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
Was he NASCAR's greatest driver? What made him the Intimidator? Find out Saturday when ESPN Classic presents A Day for Dale. A salute to the man in black. 6 of his greatest races. Plus, a special tribute. Dale Earnhardt remembered. Old number 3, this one's for you. A Day for Dale. Starts Saturday at 10 Eastern. Presented by Budweiser, only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Welcome back to Southwick, Massachusetts. Our opening moto of the 125s, and Mike Brown has run a near-perfect race. Got everything but the hole shot in this race.
He was close enough. Put the pressure on Ramsey right away, take advantage of his mistake, and it's been just smooth going ever since. He's got a free track to go out and experiment, take whatever lines he wants, get everything kind of dialed in for the next moto coming up, because the track will get rougher, and he's already thinking ahead.
Mike could be in contention for the title if it hadn't been for that atrocious luck at Hangtown, where he got mixed up in the turn 2 crash with Lampston. And half the field got hooked up into that one. He hurt his shoulder, finished out 38th in both motos. So he's trying to battle back, even though he's 3rd in points.
Well, if Langston's problems continue with his shoulder, that'll move him up the ladder. And, you know, Travis can win 5 or 6 races in a row, but he can also mess up 5 or 6 in a row. So for Brown right here, just keep going fast. Keep trying to win motos and put yourself in position to win that championship. Force Pastrana to ride great from here on out.
Mike Brown hears the cheers of the fans as he takes the checkered flag. His first moto win of the year.
I'll tell you what, Art, I'm happy for that guy. He works so hard. He's in such good shape. He's been out there so long, and somebody always upstages him, but not this time.
Pastrana doing a terrific job coming up through the pack after the midway start for a 2nd place finish. Keith Johnson, his best finish on the year. Let's go back to Davey.
A lot of people are talking about Travis Pastrana and Grant Langston. You show up and dominated that first moto. Very impressive ride.
Yeah, I felt good, you know. That's what got me pumped up for this race. You know, I never said a word about beating nobody, and I just took it all in and put all my practice in this week with Ricky, and it showed.
Where did you learn how to ride from the sand like that? There's not a lot of sand in Tennessee.
No, the last 2 years in Europe, that's all practicing every day because it rains so much. We had to ride the sand, and I love the sand, you know. It's good, and I've had a lot of experience the last 2 years.
Looked like toward the end of the moto, you kind of started to cruise after you had that 25-second lead. How do you feel about the second moto?
Oh, good. You know, I was slacked off there and didn't waste so much energy, and ready for the second moto.
Good ride, Mike.
Thank you.
Brown in great position for his first overall win as we see Travis Pastrana making the pass on Grant Langston. He is now tied in points for the leadership as we go back to Davey.
Well, Travis, you looked amazing in the comeback, but that start killed you.
Yeah, definitely not the start I wanted. Grant got out to an awesome jump and really came across, which was, heck, he got the whole shot, so that's his track. You know, he's suffering really bad from a shoulder injury. I'm not exactly sure the extent, but you know, I know that's not how fast he can go out here. Mike Brown, phenomenal. I couldn't believe how much of a lead he had pulled, but you know, hopefully maybe come back next moto. I had a concussion yesterday, and I'm not quite good, but Brown had an awesome ride, and hopefully next moto, my Suzuki's running great, so.
Easy Riders, Keith Johnson on the YZ250F Yamaha taking 3rd place. His best moto finish of the year. Davey?
Well, Keith, congratulations on 3rd. They just gave you the Doug Henry, John Dowd treatment, which is reserved for all the big Southwick heroes. That's an amazing ride.
Yeah, thanks, Davey. You know, it's great to come back home here. I've been working really hard, actually, with John Dowd this whole year, and had some really good luck at the first round. The next couple rounds, I got some bad luck, and I knew I could probably turn it around here if I got a good start. And you know, everybody at Easy Water and 3D Racing is really backing us 100%. And my bike's working great. I'm working hard, and I'm happy to be here.
How'd it feel when all those fans were cheering for you? That last lap, 20,000 people gave you a standing ovation.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I over the years I've had, like, you know, clumps of fans here and clumps of fans here, but you know, never all the way around the whole track. So it's really cool to see everybody waving their shirts, and you know, like you said, John Dowd, Doug Henry treatment. So it's, you know, it's great to be here. I've been working hard.
Good job.
Thanks.
The 250s are at the gate getting ready. Ricky Carmichael in 4th spot in the points race, the defending champion. Can he come back? First moto for the 250s coming up next.
I speak your name, and honey, you'll always be the only one for me. Meeting you was my destiny. Couldn't be, I'm falling in love.
Once you see how affordable a Yamaha V-Star is, you won't be able to help falling in love either.
Discover the amazing hitting secrets of America's finest baseball school in Teaching the Mechanics of the Major League Swing 2. Tommy Mansky's powerful teaching video that features the same revolutionary techniques that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Parents, players, and coaches have been simply amazed at their students' rapid week-by-week improvement. These award-winning techniques benefit players of all ages and ability levels and make a valuable addition to any coach's library and a great gift. At just $29.95, call now.
Soccer fans, get fired up for a great season of MLS action. When you order MLS ESPN Shootout, you'll get over 100 matches and select playoff games. So bring the action home. Order MLS ESPN Shootout now. Call your cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
Welcome back to Southwick, Massachusetts, as we prepare for the first moto in the 250s. You know, some people are calling this the USGP because we've got so many GP riders over here. They've got a month off because of their scheduling problems in Europe, and that includes this very great rider, 4-time world champion Joel Smets, also 3-time Motocross the Nations winner. Of course, teaming with Stefan Everts, that's a pretty tough team to beat, David.
Well, of course, if they're having a good day, you almost don't need a 125 rider.
And it's good to see out of retirement once again. Comes out of retirement about twice a year. Doug Henry coming back to one of his favorite tracks. Every year he's won here, he's won the championship that year.
And check it out. He's like, yeah, honey, can you hold my bike for me?
Stacy is his wrencher, I guess. As we check the Suzuki point standings, Tortelli still leads the points by 6. Let's go down to Davey.
Throughout the first 3 rounds of the AMA Chevy Trucks 250 Nationals, the fastest round of the track has easily been Ricky Carmichael, the defending champion. Unfortunately, he's also been one of the most inconsistent. Beginning at Glen Helen and going through Hangtown and High Point, Carmichael has crashed hard in the first moto, only to come back and win the second moto. He's only 12 points out of the lead, but Carmichael knows that he needs to put 2 solid motos together before someone like Tortelli gets hot and takes off on him.
Taking a look at the Suzuki starting grid now as Tortelli, of course, is the points leader. Kevin Wyndham, who's had some good races this year. Tim Ferry on that 4-stroke Yamaha. Ricky Carmichael trying to get back on top in the points. Mike LaRocco not up to full speed. He had a crash earlier today. David Villeman is trying to recover in the points system. Ryan Hughes on that Honda 4-stroke. Stefan Roncada in his first full 250 season. John Dowd on the KTM. Joel Smets, good to see him in this lineup. Ezra Lusk battling an ankle injury. Doug Henry out of retirement. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of conditioning Doug is in, as he's been pretty much, I'm surprised his sponsor's not Home Depot. He's been fixing things around the house.
He is pretty handy, and I'll tell you what, he knows this racetrack, so fitness will be important, but he can probably get by on a little bit lack of fitness and still do well on this racetrack.
The 39th qualifier, number 901, Frederic Bollet, two-time 250 GP world champion, is not having a great time of it this year over in Europe, but hoping to get some practice time in here at this fine track. You see the starting pads a lot different here because most all of them are cement in the United States, where they start on dirt in Europe. You don't hear him complain too much as you see Joel Smets there right to the right.
4-stroke lined up next to Ferry on his 4-stroke. We'll see who gets the best jump.
32nd board sideways. We're off and running. First Moto 250s. Smets just leaped off that gate, and it's Joel Smets who gets the whole shot. 2 KTMs out in front. John Dowd looks like he's in second, and Doug Henry in third. Look out.
What a start for Doug. Well, remember Binghamton last year? He came back in there and ran at the front after all that time off. Doug's just an amazing guy. They say, you know, once you learn how to ride a bicycle, you don't forget. Well, it's the same thing for Southwick, or starts for Doug Henry. He can get him, but look at who he's got on his tail.
Ricky Carmichael. Number 118 is Joel Smets. Oh, what a great start here after a long trip. He's got to be a little travel weary.
He's got to be a little bit American weary right now, going, where's this Carmichael guy I've heard so much about? How fast should I go? What line what am I doing over here? I think a few laps he'll settle in.
It's got to be strange, but he's such a great world champion.
Well, I'm glad that he gets out to a great start and proves to the Americans how good he is. Look at the jump he gets off the line, right in there between Ferry and Wyndham. He beats him out of the gate, gets his elbows ahead of there so he can't get closed out. And then he just lets that horsepower go to work.
With Smets out in front, Henry has moved into second place, Carmichael into third.
Look at the way these guys are swapping down that straightaway.
Carmichael battling for second place right now. It's bar to bar. They take 2 very different routes into that berm.
Well, Henry was able to still stay in a pretty good position, even though he got pushed to the outside. He didn't lose much time. Used to, if you got pushed over that main berm, you were nowhere. He's still in contention here and riding at 250. Last time we saw Henry, 4-stroke. He decided to just pull up here in his own pickup truck, park next to semi, and bring his practice bike, I guess.
A YZ250 out of that pickup truck. And number 19 is hanging right in there. Boy, the fans have got to be loving this. Henry, of course, from Connecticut, considers this his home track. So it's Smets, Carmichael, Henry, Dowd, Morocco in the top 5. We'll be right back with more 250 action from Southwick after this.
Attention. The preceding space was a demonstration of the KX domination system. In the event of an actual race, it would have been followed by the roaring crowd and the new champ holding an oversized cardboard check. For further instructions, contact your Kawasaki dealer. Somebody's about to ride off with a great deal on a Kawasaki. What are you going to do on your summer vacation?
Your goal is closer than you think. Introducing the ProForm 995 SEL treadmill. Follow the iFit 12-week workout program and you'll get results guaranteed. iFit gives you professional instruction and feedback.
You're in your target heart rate zone.
High-energy music and motivational coaching.
Keep up that energy. You're doing great.
You'll get professional nutrition advice and interactive workout programs that automatically adjust your fitness equipment.
Okay, now let's take it uphill.
With ProForm and iFit, you're just 12 weeks away from a better body, guaranteed, or your money back.
Wow.
Get the ProForm 995 SEL with iFit technology today for as little as $35 per month. Call now and receive iFit's 12 weeks to a better body absolutely free. You'll get 4 interactive workout CDs, instructional video, and nutrition guide. A $150 value free just for ordering.
If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. If being right means being without you, I'd rather live a wrong-doing life. If I can't see you when I want, I'll see you when I can. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right.
The Roadstar from
Loving you is wrong.
After spending last season working on Honda's 125 program, legendary mechanic Dan Bentley returned to the Big Ten in 2001 to help develop Honda's new four-stroke machine.
Every week it's a learning experience. We're learning, we have little issues each week, and we try to fix them for the following week, and then the following week comes and we have new issues to work on. So each week we're just trying to improve our results and try to be a little more consistent.
That new bike's awesome, and something that Dan can take on and kind of learn some more and have fun with it. So he's enjoying it. It's a lot of hard work because it's a new project, new bike. Got to learn a lot of new things, but there's a whole team of guys working on it, so it helps him.
In the late 80s and early 90s, the Bentley-Stanton combination won 6 championships and earned a spot as one of the best motorcycle racing combos ever assembled. Now Bentley is teamed with Ryan Hughes, whose career was resurrected when he led Team USA to the gold medal in last year's Motocross the Nations.
So far it's been great. I mean, he reminds me a lot of his conditioning with Jeff. He gives me 110%. I never have to worry about him, you know, not giving me 100% on the track or off the track. He's in top physical condition. He's a really nice guy to work for. And so far things are great.
Yeah, it's good. I've always liked Dan because him and myself have the same attitude. You know, it's whatever it takes to win, and we don't take crap from anybody. And you know, it's kind of, I don't know if we're hard-headed or what, but we're just very determined to do what we have set in our mind.
Even though Bentley and Hughes have spent the early part of the season working out the kinks on the new bike, there's no question that Honda's four-stroke is the real deal. And the pair is perfect for the arduous task of developing a new motorcycle.
No doubt, no doubt. It may take a year, you know, get all the little problems worked out on the bike, but they're, like I said, they're doing a good job.
Both of us, it's kind of some excitement to have a new bike. You know, for him, it's learning the bike. For me, it's learning to ride it. So, you know, every race is something different. You know, different conditions: sand, mud, heat, dry, ruts. So, you know, to us, it's just everything's just a learning experience. So it's fun.
It may be a learning experience now, but make no mistake, the factory has a lot riding on this new machine.
We're on our way back. We're on our way back, and if anyone doubts what I'm saying, then give us a couple years and you're going to see. We're going to be back to the dynasty that we once were.
It's back to the action. Ricky Carmichael on the inside as we have a battle for the lead right now. Carmichael wanting to take over things, tries the inside on Schmetz.
That's a shorter line, but it's so much rougher. Ricky just doesn't care. If it's faster, he's taking. He doesn't care how many bumps there are. He just saved a few there in the mechanics area. Good thing those guys backed up. He just went right up in there where they were standing and missed all the holes.
Carmichael with an 8th in the first moto in the opening round, a 5th in the next one, and a 13th in the first round of Mount Morris. Is looking for his best first moto finish of the season. He's hounding Schmetz right now.
Look at the way he's crossing over the lines. Beautiful, and he keeps setting himself up perfect to really bother Schmetz.
Carmichael to the outside, Schmetz holding true with his line.
It's hard for me to even say anything, Rod. I'm just enjoying watching Ricky go to work here on Schmetz. He is so impatient. He doesn't want to follow this guy for one more turn. He's willing to take a stupid line if that's what it takes, so he doesn't have to follow the guy. Try to make something happen.
And in the process, these two are starting to pull away from third place. Here comes Ricky. A little touch. Hey, I'm here. Get out of my way. And Ricky Carmichael moves into first.
Well, you can call that a little touch if you want, but I'm going to call it 2 touches for the lead. I think Schmetz knows what Carmichael is all about now. He's been reading about it, hearing it. Now he can see firsthand. Henry must be back there going, gee. He's still hanging pretty close in third, but he's getting an eyeful. Look at this. Ricky gives him an elbow, gets him to the berm. He looks like he's minding his own business, but Schmetz acted like he was going to come back in there. Ricky says, I don't think so. Now he's already starting to open up a little lead, and Schmetz is back there dealing with Henry in the rest.
I'm not sure those champions in Europe are used to getting bounced around as Henry has moved into second place on Schmetz. Henry stirring up the sand on the outside.
Look at LaRocco. He's using that same rough line that Carmichael used to try to get by. That worked for LaRocco, though. He's a little closer at the approach, but in a half a lap, Schmetz goes from first to fourth. That'll mess with your confidence a little bit. But at least he's up there with the lead. He can learn a little bit, see what the pace is like of the Americans, see how the aggressive style they have, and settle into something here, put himself in a position to have a top 3 overall. That would be, I think, a success coming from Europe and riding here in this heat.
And Joel Smets has always been very respectful to other riders. Here's LaRocco making the move.
Say that didn't look like too much of a problem, but the strength that it took LaRocco to get up that hill, stay in the inside line, which was rougher, make that pass on Henry, not easy. I don't think Doug is up to par with the pace LaRocco's going right now, or Carmichael out front, but he seems to be able to handle these guys. Conditioning will be a factor down the stretch. But like I said, he's going to be able to get away with quite a bit because of his experience here. Plus, he's got the best mechanic.
You are the best, she says. That's wife Stacy.
They have so much fun. I really admire that.
Tim Ferry slipping out, having to restart the 4-stroke.
It's tiring enough, okay? It's hot, it's humid, it's sandy, and you got to start your bike. And for a guy like Ferry who knows he can be out front, especially in these conditions, that's really disappointing.
There's Sebastian Tortelli, number 13, now getting into the mix. Smets is really going at it now with Henry. Boy, Henry's not giving in. He loves this track anyway.
Beautiful line he took to get back in there. He actually got pushed over the berm. Said, forget it, I'm not going around that outside again. He jumped back into the inside, kept Tortelli off his tail, and got Smets back. Good thinking.
Henry won the 250 championship here back in '98. He also won the 125 races in '93 and '94. We'll be back.
For centuries, man has longed to fly. Only now, only here, take flight over Gotham City. That wing, lie face down and fly. The earth racing below. Fly that wing. Take flight now at Six Flags America.
Save up to 50% off admission with coupons from any participating Burger King.
10 years of great moments. 10 years of great play.
I can't believe it!
10 years of great baseball.
Great win!
Celebrate a decade of excellence. The Atlanta Braves Great Baseball Tour, all season long on TBS Superstation.
Adelphia Media Services, your link to customers. Contact us to find out how to advertise your business on today's hottest cable programming.
Son, that's Al Unser Jr., 2-time Indy champ.
Hold it, guys. Winning's great, but you should understand why winners win.
Al's right. What are their pit strategies? How do exhaust layouts and wing adjustments figure in?
Good questions, John Kernan of RPM Tonight.
When you truly understand motorsports, the winning just gets more special.
Wow, look at the sky.
Seems like we're all winners today, Robbie.
Remember, to know is to love.
RPM Tonight, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. on ESPN2.
Chevy Trucks AMA Motocross is brought to you by Yamaha, makers of fine motorcycles and ATVs. Nobody's more in tune with motorsports than Yamaha. Welcome back to Southwick, Massachusetts, in our first 250 motocross. Way out in front right now is Ricky Carmichael, but here is where the battle is for third. Henry Tortelli with Dowd and Hughes behind them.
Just went through a little one-line section back there. Doug had made a mistake at the approach to the corner and just held up traffic right there. That's letting the leaders get away a little bit out in front. I don't know if they could catch him anyway, but Henry's doing an excellent job of messing these guys up.
Tortelli, important for him to move up. He's the points leader coming into this round, and RC is out in front. Tortelli really showing him the wheels.
Oh, he's all over him right now, but it doesn't bother Doug. He's just out here having a good time, trying to pick some good lines. It looked like he just kind of rode through that corner kind of nice and easy and let all those guys go, Art.
He looked to see who it was, and they had an easy pass of it.
I guess that goes to show he is just out here having fun. And I thought that it would be the Europeans that would really get in there and possibly affect the points. But maybe it's going to be Doug.
You always hear that when the USGP comes to America. that whoa, Ryan Hughes goes flying.
Boy, that is.
And he's not moving. Ryan Hughes looked like he was doing a helicopter off the bike.
I don't even know if he knows where he is right now, and rightfully so. That's one of the fastest sections of the racetrack as they drop down that sweeper. Saw a rider go down in the 125 class right next to Pastrana. That was the same spot. You're going to see the dirt spray. That's Ryan's bike. He goes tumbling by. That's fourth gear wide open on that four-stroke. You're going 60, 65 across the top there. Hope Ryan's all right.
And the flagman running to his rescue. The battle for third is on. Tortelli trying to hold him off.
Well, that's not going to be easy. John Dowd's got a power advantage here and there, and he's got the home track advantage. He has always done well here. He won back-to-back here on two different sized bikes. The guy's got the place wired, and he will not leave Tortelli alone this race.
Let's check in with Davey at the mechanics area.
Ron, it looks like John is all over Sebastian Tortelli.
Yeah, we've been really comfortable here the last couple of weeks. Been doing a lot of testing, and I mean, he's back home now. He's on some soft dirt, and I don't know, it looks like things are shaping up.
What did you guys expect coming in here? A top three or maybe even a win?
Podium would be absolutely incredible. I mean, this is like my first year doing this. It's a chance of a lifetime, and I mean, it's incredible to be here. I can't believe this is happening.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job. He's right there battling for third.
Thanks.
Well, it's not only great to see him in competition, but just back on the track again, the 35-year-old, hooking up with a KTM four-stroke.
Hooking up right now with the series points leader, Tortelli, who is no slouch in the sand.
Oh, inside move. And the crowd's going crazy for John Dow.
You see, John's just going to know the lines. The best thing Tortelli can do right here is just take a couple laps and go, all right, we need to hang with this guy a little bit, see what he's doing out there, and try to use some of that back on him, get him back at the end.
Previous to this race, John Dowd had a third-place start in the first moto at Mount Morris for his best moto finish in 8th place. Looks like he wants it better.
It's going to get better today. I have a lot of faith in John's ability to ride this racetrack and his confidence coming here. I actually told a few people, a few of my friends, I think John can win a moto here, and they're looking at me like, are you sure about that? Absolutely.
Ricky Carmichael continues to lead. Schmetz and Bollet falling to 8th and 9th. We'll be back.
This is the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. And the 2001 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
How much PC can $849 get you? More PC than we can tell you about in 30 seconds. A super-fast Intel Pentium 3 processor, CD-ROM, accelerated graphics, pro-quality audio system, monitor, one-touch internet access, lots of memory, plus 5 color choices, red, green, blue, purple, and orange. And that's just for starters. The compact Presario 5000T. Let us build one for you. Call us direct at 1-800-331-0403 for all this, and we'll double your memory for free. Hey, do I have time to mention the...
Back in Southwick, Massachusetts, first moto 250s. Ricky Carmichael has simply taken off and not looked back.
He seems so determined to take that week off after the last round at Mount Morris and really get ready for this race. And he has proven it. I thought he didn't need to work any harder. He just needed to work at not falling down the first lap of the first moto. I mean, it seemed like his speed was there, but he wasn't satisfied with it. He has definitely taken it up a notch here today.
3 moto wins in the first 3 rounds, but only 1 podium. That's second place at Hangtown. And here's the battle for 5th. Villeman on the Yamaha, out in front of Kevin Windham, number 14.
Villeman was the one bobbling a little bit. Looked like Kevin was trying to make a run at him.
Villeman looking over at Kevin, but comes right back at him. Looks like Windham perseveres there.
You know what that comes down to is fitness, Art. I'm seeing it. I don't like saying that about these guys. I know they all work hard, but if Villeman was a little stronger, he wouldn't be worried about what line he was taking and what hole he's jumping and what hole he's trying to miss. See, he's trying to hit a smoother line everywhere. Just go fast. And if you're in shape, you can do it. Kevin is beating him at that right now.
I'll never forget Jeremy McGrath telling me that's the difference in his outdoor performance when he decided, hey, I've got to win this championship. People say I can't win this outdoor championship. And the difference was blasting through rather than finessing.
Right. You cannot ride finesse outdoors and beat a guy like this. Carmichael will hit every hole out there, every lap, and do it as fast as you can do it in the smooth line.
Ricky Carmichael starting to hear the cheers of the fans as the time is winding down here at our first moto. This would be his first moto win of the season in getting back on track.
We've won plenty of championships. We know what it takes to win them, and I just got to be a little more consistent. It's not a problem, you know. Last year, this time, I was further behind in points than I am now, so I'm not too worried about it. I know that I can win, and I'm just going to go out there and do the thing that I've always done. I mean, people are quick to forget, that, just because I haven't won an overall, it doesn't mean, I still won some motos, and, I still can win.
Ricky Carmichael's had good successes on this track. He won 2 out of 3 years on a 125, and of course last year on the 250. Looking for 2 in a row right now.
Well, it's a combination of the fact that it's sand, which he's used to living in Florida, and also the fact that he prides himself on being able to win the toughest races. This is a tough race.
The checkered flag for Ricky Carmichael. The monkey off the back.
And now let's just hope he doesn't start messing up the second motor.
Ricky Carmichael riding a terrific race. Mike LaRocca holding on to second with John Dowd, the local favorite, in third. Tortelli Villeman rounding out the top 5. Bollet moving up to 9th. Let's go down to Davey.
RC buying on the scoreboard with the first moto win.
Feels good, I tell you. Got a good start and real good. I think I had some bad lines out there because I didn't feel too good. Man, I was all over the place. The track is really, really rough, and glad to get that first moto streak under my belt, and gonna try to keep on winning now.
Do you have any extra incentive when you saw the 500cc world champion Joel Smets leading?
Not really. His bike is, it's so fast. It's like not fair, and I mean, he just goes around the turn and then gasses it down the straightaway, and I had to work my butt off to catch back up, and once I got by him, I don't know what happened to him, but I ain't worried about him. I'm worried about myself and trying to put this Chevy Trucks Kawasaki up front.
Well, good job. And by the way, Sebastian Tortelli, the points leader, finished 4th, so he picked up 7 points in the title chase.
That's nice, but need to keep plugging away.
John Dowd comes back on the track that he learned on. He has 6 career victories. He'd love nothing more than to get number 7 right here in front of his hometown fans. Davey?
Well, John, it's good to have you back in the winner's circle. 3rd place in the first moto. Very solid ride.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. It's been a tough year. The class is tough. There's a lot of fast guys, and I don't know. I was just hoping to get going a little bit more here at Southwick, my home track, and so far everything's going all right. The bike's working good, and all the sponsors on board. PC Worldwide and Cernix.com, and Moose, Scott Goggles, everybody, Bell Helmets, they're all putting in 110% for our team here, and so far everything's going good. I hope I can put together a good second moto.
Well, that was an amazing battle you had with the points leader, Sebastian Tortelli. Looked like he had you there early, but you hunkered down, you got back up in there.
Yeah, I think I was a little nervous at first. I really haven't been kind of running up front, with these guys yet this year, so I was a little tight at first, making some mistakes, and once I settled down, I realized I was kind of hanging with them, and that, helped me, my confidence a little bit. I was able to kind of, concentrate a little bit, and I managed to. He made a few mistakes, and I kind of got by, so we'll see what happens next time.
You need a whole shot like Joel Smets. You get one of those, you'll be in business.
Yeah, this KTM 520 is it's a powerful machine. It's great for the start, for sure.
So after the first 125 moto, Langston and Pastrana are tied for the points lead. We'll be right back with moto number 2 for the 125s after these words.
Featherweight fight. David Toledo versus Victor Polo. Tuesday night fights, 9 p.m. tonight on ESPN2.
The Chevy Trucks AMA Motocross Series is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and ATVs. 125s are at the gate now, getting ready for their second moto. You can't get a tighter points race. With Langston placing 9th in the first moto and Pastrana 2nd, they are tied for the points lead. Can Mike Brown come back and maybe take moto number 2 like he did moto number 1 for his first victory of the season? While we wait for the second moto to get underway, let's turn back the pages of history with this week's Suzuki Flashback. Let's take a look from above. That's Travis Pastrana on the left and Lamson on the right. Pastrana getting the bead on Lamson. Look from the outside. Pro Circuit's Nathan Ramsey gets the whole shot. Now cuts to the inside. Pastrana, nice clean move. Moves into the lead now. He's got the angle on this turn. And Travis Pastrana is our new leader. The crowd's ready to get with it. Tries a little wheelie there. Not easy in the sand soil. The checkered flag, but the heel clicker comes out. Coming down to that speed section right there. It used to be the finish line. Travis Pastrana cutting to the inside now on Talon Bullet. And the Suzuki has the lead on the final lap.
He's only got this corner and the next left-hander, and he's got it made.
Nods his head to the corner worker, looks back. And the checkers for Travis Pastrana. He has swept both motos in the 125. Ricky Carmichael winning the 250 last year. Travis Pastrana, the 125. They're looking to become the first 2 riders ever to repeat and have back-to-back victories here at Southwick. Mike Brown has other thoughts. Number 100, and we look at Travis Pastrana, number 1. He's coming off his very first overall win of the season, a sweep at Mount Morris. As we get set for moto number 2, they're all right together and off and running. Oh, Pastrana and Brown got into it. Brown went down. Michael Brown starting in last position here in the first lap. Barely out of the gate. He rubbed plastic with Pastrana. Langston got into it a little bit. And look who's out in front. Number 18, Brock Sellards, KTM.
He needed a good start. He finished 10th in the first moto, right behind his teammate Langston. So if anybody's just joining the show, Langston, who won the first 4 motos of the series, led the points. There he is on the left right there. He is riding with a severely injured left shoulder. Look at these guys coming off the gate. Doesn't even look like they're trying for the start. That's the way you do it on this cement. Travis leaned a little bit to his right, caught Mike Brown. Now he's got to start from dead last. Now if he'd have finished 10th in the first moto and that happened, it'd be like, well, more bad luck. But this is devastating because the overall's on the line.
A great start for Brock Sellards. Sellards' best moto prior to this time was a 3rd in the second moto at Hangtown, but he didn't get a start like this, that's for sure.
And the whole shot helps so much. I mean, a guy like Brock could get a 10th place start and pretty much just work his way up to 5th or 6th. Doesn't show how talented he is. He gets a great start like this and end up in the top 3, no problem.
Last year, he won the overall at Troy, sweeping both motos on the FMF Honda. He took a third overall at Budds Creek. His first and only other 125 motocross win, Washougal in 1999.
He's not just getting a hole shot and getting a little fortunate. He's getting a hole shot and pulling away from second place Fonseca right now.
Brock Sellards out in front of the KTM. He could become the standard bearer for KTM if that injury gives Grant Langston more problems. You got to think right now, number 111's in great position. And yet, between motos, they told us, this is a third-degree separated shoulder.
It's bad. And like I said, I know people have had shoulder injuries. Luckily, I never had one, but man, it hurts. I don't know how they can hold on out there. That's the berm approaching the mechanics area. So you can imagine what it's like for those guys watching those guys come by.
I thought Damon Huffman was going to take out our camera. He took the outside line on that corner. There's Fonseca, number 25.
So once again, up front, Keith Johnson. And you know what happens when you go to a track you know you should do well at. You sit on the gate with more confidence. That helped him with his start here.
Johnson into third in front of Langston, Ramsey, and Huffman. We'll be right back with more 125 action.
When Suzuki introduced the original 4-stroke DR 350 and dual sport 350, it rocked motorcycling. Now, it's happening all over again. Introducing the all-new DRZ400 and DRZ400S from Suzuki. 4-stroke thunder. On-road or off.
How would you like to earn CD rates without tying up your money? Simple. With the Orange Savings Account from ING Direct, everyone earns the same high 5% rate. With no minimum balance requirement and no fees. And unlike CDs, you can always get at your money. Still think there's a catch? There isn't one. You just didn't have a choice before. Call 1-800-ING Direct for great rates with no minimums and no fees. 1-800-ING Direct.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
This summer, be fast on a Honda CR. And get up to 300 bonus bucks from your Honda dealer. Plus, no down payment, no payments, and no interest for 3 months with your Honda card. Or be gone on Honda's champion CBRs and be rewarded with monthly payments as low as $139 with your Honda card. This summer, be hot, red hot at your Honda dealer.
The overall is wide open for the 125s here at Southwick, Massachusetts. Moto 1 leader Mike Brown hit the deck early right out of the gate. And Travis Pastrana is gunning for the top. He's currently in 7th after a slow start, but he's weeding his way up through the pack.
A little bit better start than what he got in the first moto. After the first lap there, he was 11th. See, he's trying to clear that double there every lap, and he keeps all that momentum. It goes all the way around the outside right there. You save a little bit of energy out there wide, and you keep your speed up. There's certain things Travis is able to do out there on the racetrack. Change up his line if he needs to all of a sudden and not lose time. That's why he's able to maintain the gap, same gap to the leaders while he's in traffic. Very few guys can do that.
He zips by Ramsey on the Yamaha 4-stroke.
Well, Travis is really on the move right here. I think he understands this could be the day where the championship, he really gets a firm hold on it. Langston's having his problems. Travis' start wasn't great, but he's making up for it.
After the first lap, he was in 14th, and now he's gunning for a top 5 position. Let's bring in Davey.
Terrible start for first moto winner Mike Brown. You could see off the start, Langston came across on him, got his front wheel. Brown went down in the dirt, and it wasn't the worst of it. Halfway through the lap, after he picked up about 8 guys, Brown went down again. He's having to come from dead last twice. Right now, he's not even in the top 30.
As we look at Travis Pastrana wearing the #1 plate, the defending champion. He'd love a back-to-back overall win, and it's wide open right now.
Well, I think when you look at who's in front of him right now, Travis can beat all those guys. He knows that. There's time. He can catch them all and put himself in a position to win the overall, leave here with a healthy points lead.
Right in front of him, he's got the privateer, Damon Huffman. There's Grant Langston, 111, and you know he's riding herd.
I'll tell you what, Travis, he always talks about the other riders in his interviews, and I guarantee you he is just gaining so much respect for the effort that Langston's put in today. He's riding his tail off into this race.
Going to the outside, but the speed that he's going downhill in that sand.
Look at that. Almost hit the back tire of Langston and went down. He's looking around going, what's going on right? It's gotten real busy. Travis was in a place in the track where there's no one around him. Now it's a mess, and he's trying to make some good decisions in that.
Well, Langston, I just think it's remarkable in this battle for fourth that he's still in it. Let's go to Davey.
Andrew, how was Grant between motos?
Obviously, when he came off, he was feeling very sore. They took the bandage off, and he went and lay down, and he got a bit of a sleep, and they put a new bandage on, and it seems to be holding out pretty good, but I know that it's really, really sore.
That kind of an injury, though, is going to get worse and worse. He might not feel it that much right now, but boy, next week.
Yeah, all he can feel right now is the championship could be slipping away, because he knows this isn't just going to heal before the next week's round at Budds Creek. And here he's got Travis breathing down his neck again. They're already tied in points, so if Travis gets around him, he loses the points lead, and if his shoulder doesn't get any better, he may never get it back.
Travis looked like he got jammed up in that corner. He's coming out of it shaking his head like, what did I do that for?
Hey, look ahead of him, though, and it doesn't seem like he lost much time. I mean, we saw Ramsey go down right there in the first moto chasing Travis. He's at least got enough balance and the reflexes to save that from being much bigger time loss.
Just Damon Huffman was able to get by him once again, so Travis has his work cut out for him.
Well, he loves this racetrack. He loves the challenge, and he's got one now. He didn't win the first moto. He said he was going to come up here and win both motos. So did Langston. Langston's got an excuse, though. Watch Travis. Comes into this corner. Doesn't get his foot out there early enough. He's a little bit too hard on the brakes when he hit that last bump.
Back in a moment.
If you're a local business owner, you have a unique opportunity to advertise in the most exciting environment on cable television. From SportsCenter to the NFL, to Major League Baseball and the NHL, to exciting original programming like ESPN's 2-Minute Drill and The Life. ESPN and ESPN2. Isn't that where you'd like to see your commercial?
Adelphia Media Services, your link to customers. To advertise your business on cable TV, call or visit our website.
The movies you want are playing all this week. Check out what's on In Demand. Traffic.
You worry about getting me what I want. I worry about myself.
The Miss United States pageant.
Miss Congeniality. What women want.
Make that sound.
Save the Last Dance. The hits you want when you want them. In Demand, you rule.
Soccer is the world's game. The competition is very fierce in the MLS.
Intense.
Passionate. Soccer Saturdays on ESPN and ESPN2. At that store, I like the bar. The beauty of a great defensive play. The beauty of a great pass. The more you watch the game, the more you learn.
You're not going to give an inch. They're not going to give an inch, so you go out there and you battle.
A Soccer Saturday twin bill. Galaxy Burn at 4 on ESPN. Metro Stars Fire at 8 on ESPN2.
Art Ekman, David Bailey, Davey Coombs from Southwick, Massachusetts. Second moto of the 125s. Mike Brown winning the first one. And right now, in second place, it is simply incredible. With a separated shoulder, number 111, Grant Langston.
This is unbelievable, and it's his left shoulder, so see if you can tell. I can't see him favoring it at all. And you know, there's so many factors that led him to want to race this in this much pain. The fact that he's excellent in the sand. He lived in Belgium last year during the World Championship, mostly sand there. Said he would win this race, having not even seen this racetrack. and the points lead, and the fact he's on a KTM with the points lead. So many things that have him going, you know what, why don't I just try? And it's working for him. He's ahead of Travis here in this moto, getting some of those points back. And look at Fonseca on the inside, a rougher line. He can't be as aggressive, and both Huffman and Pastrana ride right around him into third and fourth.
Langston has shown everyone prior his credentials as an outstanding rider, but the kid is tough, no question, and he's really shown us the ingredients that propelled him to the GP 125 World Championship last year. You just got to hang in there and go through the worst of times the best you can.
This is one of those races where he's counting those minutes down more than any other race of the year. Maybe if you have a championship on the line or something, this is like that. He just can't wait for this to be over with, so he can try to let that thing heal a little bit. It's got to be on his mind for the weeks to come.
Damon Huffman with one of his best motos to date. He had a third at Glen Helen in moto number 2, but he's really putting the pressure on Grant Langston right now.
See Huffman using a little bit of that Supercross style stuff, jumping over through those braking bumps. Travis followed him, checking all that out. He's learning the lines of both Langston and Huffman, who are riding pretty strong. This has got to be blowing Travis's mind. I mean, he's been back there behind Langston now for a few laps going, okay, doesn't this guy have a shoulder separation? Why is he still ahead of me? There goes Huffman. I don't know why he didn't just lean into that. He just went straight.
So Brock Sellards has led every lap of this race. Langston is in second, remarkably so, and Pastrana now into third.
And watch Huffman right here between these guys. Wheelies through the holes, everything looks good right there. He gets a little funny kick, but then he just goes straight off the berm. You know, Travis is going, well, thanks a lot. Takes over the position, no problem. He's got to be kind of wondering what the heck has gotten into Langston to be riding this well with that kind of an injury.
That's the break that Travis needed. Right now, he's in pursuit of second place in Grant Langston. This means the points lead after this race is over. He just blasts through that berm, made his own berm out of that. Pastrana is flying.
Kurt, we've watched Langston move all the way up to second now. You've got to be impressed by the way he's riding.
I'm not impressed. I'm absolutely amazed. This kid has a heart that's as big as you can imagine. And the pain that he's in, the way he's riding, it's incredible, absolutely incredible.
His mechanic, Andrew, said that he was very sore between motos. Was there any thought about not going out?
I mean, from my side, if Grant's in too much pain, he doesn't ride. But, you know, I don't know what it'd take to stop him from racing. I really don't.
If he wins this championship, you're going to know he won it here.
Yeah, that could be true.
There's a guy that knows, Kurt Nicole, former world champion, knows exactly what he's talking about. The pain that this kid has gone through, Grant Langston, number 111, and trying to hold off Travis Pastrana and thus hold the points lead.
It's a bittersweet day for KTM. They got the top 2 spots in this moto. They got the points lead unless Travis can make that pass.
Travis Pastrana finally gets by Grant Langston into second place. Langston trying to come back. Travis checking him out.
Well, it just seemed like inevitable that Travis is eventually, with a healthy body, going to be able to make up the difference. But still, going back to KTM, they got to be so happy and proud of their effort this year. And in this moto and in the gutsy performance by Grant. But I'm sure there's some concerns about whether he's going to be able to continue this and grab this title or not.
Sellards, Pastrana, Langston are top 3. We might have a good race for that lead yet. Hold on.
I was in an accident and had to go in an ambulance. It hurt a lot and I was real scared. Daddy looked scared too.
Where are they taking it?
Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. Accident victims, cancer patients, children. Please call the American Red Cross at 1-800-GIVE-LIFE because someone needs you right now.
The girl.
Was it you who saved my life?
Introducing The Season, ESPN's new original series, which brings you inside the game as you've never been before. Side by side with the world's most competitive athletes.
Leave it. Leave it.
In their quest for greatness. The season's premiere show takes you on the course with Tiger Woods in his failed bid for a 5th consecutive major victory. Don't miss Tiger Woods at the U.S. Open on the premiere of ESPN's The Season. A new season begins 8 p.m. tonight.
Moto 2, the 125s, welcome back. Brock Sellers has led every lap, but the battle is right here. For 3rd place, Grant Langston with a dislocated shoulder trying to hold off Damon Huffman for 3rd place.
Huffman's got to know that Travis was able to catch these guys and ride around both of them and pull away. So it can be done. It's just a matter of trying to find a good place to get around Grant. Every time he gets close, Langston pulls off some great line and opens up the gap.
Right now, a 2-2 for Pastrana would be good enough for the overall. But Grant Langston just saw Travis Pastrana pass him, and that'll give him the points lead.
Yeah, I don't think really what's going to happen right here in this moto has that much to do with the rest of the season, given the fact that that shoulder is real iffy, whether he can continue to ride after this race or not.
Huffman to the outside. Langston picks a good line to hold him off. They're getting into lap traffic, though. There's Ben Riddle of Team Suzuki, and here comes Huffman. Huffman taking an outside slingshot, and Langston got trapped behind Riddle.
That was a good move by Huffman coming out of the corner. I'm not sure if he planned that or not, but it looked like he used Riddle as a screen. Worked perfect.
Now how will he use Velati, Randy Velati on the Honda number 82. Randy wisely moving out of the way, letting the contenders go at it. Langston having to go around on the outside, but Huffman now securing his position.
Those braking bumps right there, it's in a G-force as you come down that hill and all the strength. I keep talking about Langston's shoulder and how bad it must hurt, and I can't stress enough how hard this is to do when you're healthy. And this is on the most difficult racetrack, the roughest one of the year, and part of why I'm bringing all that up is because Huffman rides so well in this difficult stuff. And see, Langston, if he's by himself, he takes that line and Huffman can't make the pass, but he's got to brake a little bit. Huffman goes around the outside. And Huffman has done well on this racetrack. He's a little bit better at Supercross indoors, but he's also a great rider. And when you're a great rider, you can do well in the sand.
Mike Brown, after a last place start, he got nipped right in front of the gate as he got into it with Pastrana, making his way back up through the pack. He's had a tough second moto this afternoon. Let's go to Davey.
You can see the look of frustration on Mike Brown's mechanic's face. That's Steve Henderson. But I got to tell you, we're watching the splits. Brown might be the fastest guy on the track, but those 2 first-lap crashes are going to kill him. Still, it's feasible for Brown to possibly get in the top 8 at this point. Maybe in the top 5. He keeps picking off traffic like he is.
That's a remarkable ride from Mike Brown, who started from last place twice, crashing near the gate, then crashing once again before the first lap was out.
But look at the speed, though. I mean, it's just unbelievable when you go from Langston and Huffman and even Travis, then you click over to Mike, and you can see the intensity and how much faster he's going around the racetrack.
With over half the season remaining, Mike is trying to pick up as many points as possible to get back into the championship race. Our Suzuki trivia question: the 2 Suzuki riders that won Southwick on 500s. The answer when we return.
The rumble of a big V twin makes your blood race. You grew up on the pegs of a dirt bike. You could smell a carb running rich from a mile away. Call 1-800-994-3664 to find out how you can become one of the best technicians in the world. Motorcycle Mechanics Institute.
More riders. More classes. More championships. More than ever. Suzuki. Rising stars. to superstars.
But before you think there's a resurgence in loyalty, consider the Cincinnati Bengals, who are inserting a loyalty clause in contracts to prevent players from criticizing management. Loyalty is usually defined as teams owing something to players and players returning that.
We haven't checked him out for quite a while. Number 18 on the KTM, Brock Sellards, who's led every lap of this second moto. But don't blink, a guy named Pastrana's behind him in second place.
I know how this feels to be leading a race for so long. And all of a sudden, here comes that guy that can threaten you, and you know he's capable of passing you.
Let's get to the answer of our Suzuki trivia question. The two Suzuki riders who won at Southwick in 500s, it was Ken Howerton and Danny Laporte. Wonder how many people got that right.
Well, I messed it up. I was over here thinking it would be Alan King, or well, who else did I say? I don't even remember. I forgot they had a national back in '79.
This is reminiscent of the time that Ricky Carmichael came back on Sellards on the last lap. I think he did that to McCormick also that year. White flag is out. Final lap. The showdown is underway. Sellards with Travis Pastrana right on his back rubber.
This makes you so nervous. You start worrying so much. Already a mistake. Whoa. And Travis, I don't know how he stayed on the bike. He just kept it pinned. I don't think he understood what Sellards was doing there, but he ran right into him.
That Suzuki interval. Yeah, Damon Huffman 8 seconds back in third.
There is no interval with these guys. The interval is that Sellards didn't go fast enough to that corner back there, and Travis just about ran right over him.
Knocking on the door. Travis Pastrana. He's already got the overall and darn near lost it on a fishtail.
This is his favorite section.
Pastrana to the inside. He takes Sellards. Can he hold on to it? Get out of the way, Lapper. Yes. He goes through the mechanics area. Lee McCullum gets out of the way. His wrencher. Sellards trying to come back on Travis Pastrana. Travis checking him out. Travis already has the overall in his hip pocket. But this is how competitive this young man is.
Yeah, get out there and take big chances with a concussion. That's basically what's going on. This kid, last year, he did it with no goggles, the rear brake. He's done it in a cast. It doesn't matter. It was whatever it takes. That's what he'll do.
Looking for his third moto win of the year. And this would give him in this position about an 8-point lead in the championship. Much better than last year's championship performance.
You know, I would look at this right here and maybe to cost her a little bit and go, hey, the championship is the most important thing. You already got the overall. You don't need to take big chances, but that's what makes Travis so exciting. That's what makes him feared by the other riders, because he's just not safe out there if he's behind him.
Travis Pastrana, the cheers of the fans here at Southwick. The checkers for Travis. He's got to feel good with the way he came back from mid-pack to take over the lead and win here at Southwick. The first Suzuki to win back-to-back 125 wins here at Southwick ever. Pastrana, Sellards, Huffman, Langston, an incredible fourth with Ramsey, Ward, Johnson, Fonseca, Brown, and Way rounding out the top 10. Let's hear from the winner.
Travis, you earned that one.
Man, thank you so much. I put my heart and soul into that one. I mean, I didn't even know if I was going to make it after the first round. But, man, it's a shame Mike Brown and I tangled hard on the start. I'm sure he would have been a really, really tough guy to even ride with. He was flying great today. You know, Langston with his separated shoulder is awesome, but, man, I'm just so happy right now. I mean, I'm glad to win here again. You know, it's cool, man. And I love this track, Southwick. All the fans are really behind me back here on the East Coast, and I really didn't think I had a chance to catch Brock, and I don't think he thought I had a chance either, so that helped.
Tell us about the last lap when you did make the pass.
Well, Brock didn't give an inch, that's for sure. He held it pinned, but I was able to take the inside line. It was a little risky, but I need the points right now, so thanks a lot, Davey.
All right, good job, Travis.
Hey, thanks. I really like to thank Suzuki again. They just got everything dialed for me.
Pastrana, Ties, Henry, Kehoe, Wyndham, and O'Mara on the all-time 125 list as we take a look at the overall. Mike Brown in second, Ramsey's first podium of the year. Let's go back down now to the podium area and Davey Coombs.
Fran, you finished fourth. We don't often pull over the fourth-place rider, but, man, what a tough day you put in.
I mean, I gave everything I had, and, you know, I wasn't going to ride. I didn't do practice or anything, and before the race, I just thought I've got to try and see if I can just get anything. And, I mean, I was in a lot of pain, and my shoulder was so weak. And that second race, I was so happy the way I just, you know, got a good rhythm. And on those braking bumps down the hill, I could feel my collarbone moving around, and I was so worried, and you know, very happy to have come away with a 9th and a 4th.
It's an amazing run.
Thank you very much.
As we look at the Suzuki points list, Pastrana taking over the points lead. Last year at this time, it was his first win, and he was still 15 points down, but came back to win the championship. So it's a whole new ball game now for Travis Pastrana in the 125s, David.
And with a ride like he put in that second moto, I think he's proven that with an injured Langston and with the points that Brown has to make up, this is looking like Travis's title again.
Mike Brown would have to receive some very generous help from a guy named Brock Sellards, who really looked wonderful in the second moto, turning it on and leading every lap but the last lap. Maybe he could get some help from Larry Ward on that 4-stroke as well, as there's going to have to be some riders between Mike Brown and Travis Pastrana if Mike Brown hopes to get into points contention. There's the hometown favorite, Doug Henry. The 250s coming up next.
This is the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. And the 2001 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck. From Chevy.
Mr. and Mrs. Pfeffercorn? Hey, it's me, Steve, the kid from next door. Sorry about the rhododendrons. Anywho, Jeff here needs a computer.
Hi, Mom.
Now, Mr. Pfeffercorn, here's the deal. You can get our friend Jeff a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor for only...
Ta-da!
Tell them what they get, Jeff.
We get speakers, a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse.
Very good, Jeff. And if you guys order now, you get a free CD burner upgrade. And Mrs. Pfefferbean?
That's Pfeffercorn, actually.
Whatever. Dell has award-winning service and support.
Perhaps that's why it's America's favorite PC.
Perhaps.
Get this great Dell computer with an Intel Pentium 3 processor for just $7.99. We'll include 6 months of DellNet by MSN Internet Access. Call or go online now, and you'll get a free CD burner upgrade.
Ready? Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, it's me, Steve.
Hold on! I'm coming for you! The Suzuki King Quad is the only all-terrain vehicle that has a 3-speed sub-transmission. And locking front differential that allows you to transfer power equally to all 4 wheels to get you where you need to go. I'm coming!
I almost lost you there.
The King Quad from Suzuki.
Art Ekman, David Bailey, Davey Coombs bringing you the action of the final moto of the afternoon. Here's John Dowd. We mentioned Doug Henry being a crowd favorite. You can't deny number 16 because they're also cheering for him here on his home track. Ricky Carmichael taking the first moto is looking for his first sweep of the year.
I'm a little surprised we didn't see more of Tim Ferry that first moto. Of course, he went down early. I think he collided with somebody, but I expect a lot more out of him this time, especially with the sand and the fact that he should be able to get a good start.
Taking the first 4-stroke victory in motocross since Jimmy Button at Washougal in '99 in that season's opener at Glen Helen. Tim Ferry's been hanging around there close. 32nd board is sideways. Let's see who gets the break in the gate. Wyndham, a pretty good run, but John Dowd. Dowdy gets the whole shot on the KTM. Boy, what power he shot off the corner on.
He might just have the most horsepower of anybody in this race. Look at the battle behind him.
Ricky Carmichael moves quickly into second place. Wyndham in third.
Yeah, Ricky jumped so far off the top of that hill, he looked like a little bit of Supercross style back there. He landed at the downside of one of those whoops, made everything look smooth, but you got to get a good run up the hill to jump that far.
Wyndham a better start as he's placed in third here in the second moto after a sixth-place finish in the opener. Kevin getting good starts lately. Got a whole shot at Mount Morris.
Look at the kind of pressure that Carmichael puts on you. They don't even have a lap in the book, and already Dow can just feel that Kawasaki back there pinned, and it makes you nervous. You don't get any time to breathe, and here he comes.
Here comes Carmichael looking over at John Dow. They don't even stay bar to bar very long. Maybe a fraction of a second, and Carmichael's in first place. He's looking for the sweep.
I mean, he didn't just go by him. He went, just blew by him. He's clearing that double right there, lands on the downside wide open. Look at the lead already. I mean, if that doesn't ruin your confidence to the point where you're going, okay, you know, let me just make sure I beat everybody else. That's got to be going through Dowd's mind right now with the way Ricky's riding away from him.
If Ricky takes this moto, he'd be the fourth different rider in the first 4 rounds to win.
Look at Ricky, lands all the way to the bottom of that, out on the flat. Just soaks it up, pulls the tearaway in the process. Just all looks business as usual, but I can't explain to you how hard that is to do what he's doing.
Dowd and Wyndham going at it for second place now.
And when they come out of that corner and Ricky's already at the end of the straightaway and disappearing over that hill, they are worried about who's going to win this battle for second.
For those newcomers, Ferry won the opener. Tortelli took Hangtown round number 2, and David Villeman round number 3. And if Ricky Carmichael stays out in front here, he would be the 4th different winner in the 4 rounds.
Well, that's where the 4-stroke really helped out.
Ferry
climbing that hill in the back, coming around the corner by the pond back there, and you just, especially on a 125, it feels like you get off and run beside the bike up the hill. If Ferry had the horsepower, got right up next to Wyndham. And now Wyndham's worried about Ferry, so that's allowed Dow to get away.
And Ferry makes the inside move on Wyndham into third.
He just took advantage of Wyndham getting pushed a little wide, which was partially his doing. So Ferry may be going about as fast as Carmichael out front. Wow. Definitely went through that corner faster than he won all day. But that was a little bit of a off-balance correction there that made it look so fast.
Tim currently in third. He had a 4th overall in the last race at Mount Morris with a 2.5 performance. In Moto 2, he started 14th, stalled, came out of last place, and all the way back to 5th.
Yeah, I believe Ferry is riding as fast as Carmichael out front right now, and it won't be long before he gets down. Look at what he does to Wyndham. Just makes Wyndham nervous, pushes him wide. Kevin wants to go right into there to the main groove. And there's no way that Ferry's going to let him in there. He just had to go wide and give it to him.
So Ricky Carmichael starts to get a gigantic lead here in the second moto. We go back in the pack looking for battles.
Yeah, the gap staying the same between Ricky and Ferry. And Dowd is getting shuffled back just a little bit. Still a fine ride by John, but the Florida specialist, the 1-2 punch this year of Ferry and Carmichael is a little bit too much for John Dowd this moto, I have a feeling.
Dowdy's still looking for his best finish on the season. Carmichael, Dowd, Ferry, Wyndham, and Henry, the top 5. Doug Henry back up there in the top 5. Look out.
Why do you need digital cable? Because you're an inventor, a flyer, a time traveler, a fixer-upper, or just a kid. Because you care about your health. And only digital cable satisfies your passion with these unique channels from Discovery. Available on digital cable. Call your cable provider today to receive the very best of digital cable programming. Only from Discovery, a digital cable experience.
This month, Adelphia has it all. On
On HBO, George Clooney braves the rough sea, the perfect storm. On Cinemax, Mel Gibson fights to protect his family, the Patriot. On Showtime, Tom Cruise tries to thwart a diabolical plan, Mission Impossible 2. And on the Movie Channel, Ashley Judd struggles to prove her innocence, Double Jeopardy. For these movies and more, you've got to check out Adelphia.
Was he NASCAR's greatest driver? What made him the Intimidator? Find out Saturday when ESPN Classic presents A Day for Dale. A salute to the man in black. 6 of his greatest races. Plus, a special tribute. Dale Earnhardt remembered. Old number 3, this one's for you. A Day for Dale. Starts Saturday at 10 Eastern. Presented by Budweiser, only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
We're back in Southwick, Massachusetts. Second moto for the 250s. After Travis Pastrana victorious in the 125s, Ricky Carmichael's looking to nail down a sweep here in the 250s. Behind him, the battle rages on for John Dowd.
The way Ferry caught him and the way Ferry was riding, I had a feeling John was going to get past, and that was going to be the end of it. But he's really stepped up to this challenge and frustrated the progress of Ferry back there. I know Ferry, when he caught him, thought he was faster. There he goes.
Tim Ferry. Dowd takes plenty of looks at him and still holds on. Ferry, though, to the inside, and he makes the pass.
Got to be thinking, finally, he had to work for that.
Brian Kenny, Tim Ferry's mechanic, for that YZ 426F. Number 15. Dowd's not letting him off the hook, but now he's getting the roost.
Yeah, it hurts, too. The sand just feels like, nah, it's just sand. But it's like somebody just tossing a shovel full out there, and you hit it going 30 or 40 miles an hour right in the stomach, and it hurts.
Let's go to Davey.
Brian, you guys have gotten a second in at least one moto every national this year. Right now, you're back on track.
Yeah, we had a little problem in the first moto. Timmy went down behind Smets, and he was back in 12th. It worked his way back to 7th. Here in the second moto, we got a pretty good start, about a 5th place start. He's up to 2nd right now. He's about 5 seconds behind Ricky. Just hopefully he can keep the pressure on Ricky and move up and maybe get a chance to pass him.
We saw him ride behind Ricky the whole moto, the second moto at Glen Helen. What can he do different this time to actually make a pass?
You know, Ricky's really fast out here. I really don't know. He just have to follow and find out wherever Ricky's weaknesses are, and hopefully he can capitalize on that.
Brian's absolutely correct, because if Ricky wins here today, that's 4 out of 5 years as a professional, and he's taking the checkered flag home with him.
See the way that Ferry is pushing, coming down that hill, riding the nose into the berm, still getting into the berm, not losing time, but he's really trying to push it hard, force Ricky to ride well out front. If he doesn't have the pressure, Carmichael that is, well, this is just an easy moto win. Might as well give it to him. Ferry's making him earn it.
There's Wyndham behind Dowd and Ferry. And Mike Morocco. Joel Smets currently in 6th. A lot of the Euros getting used to that one moto, not 2 motos, like they've changed the format in Europe.
I don't know what they're thinking over there.
They don't like it either.
No, I know Smets doesn't like it. I don't even know what's going on. I think maybe for television. I can understand trying to bend a little bit for television, because that can do a lot for your sport, but if it changes the sport, you got to take a longer look at the decisions, and I think Smets is happy to be over here racing with us.
And he's represented himself well, despite the travel lag he's experiencing, obviously.
In about 10 more minutes, he'll be kind of wishing that it was just a one moto format. This track is so rough today. He's doing good. You know, I really never seen him ride much, and I'm impressed. He picked a difficult track to come ride on, and here he is battling it out with guys like Morocco, who we praise all the time for being tough on tracks like this.
No question about the strength of Joel Smets and the conditioning, that's for sure. The team that's having a rough time of it here today, even a former winner here, Ezra Lusk, and Team Honda. Let's go down to Davey.
It's been a terrible second moto here for Team Honda. First of all, Ryan Hughes, who hurt his knee in practice, started the first moto, pulled off, didn't even come out for the second moto. Ezra Lusk, he got lapped almost twice in the first moto. He's running about 10th. But the really bad news is points leader Sebastian Tortelli has fallen twice. He's not even in the top 20 right now. Terrible second moto for Honda.
Well, that's a big boost for Carmichael. He talked about not being in as good a position at this point in the series last year as he is right now. And with Tortelli that far back, he's going to leave here with a points lead.
Tortelli, every year for the last 3 years, has held the #1 position in points at one time or another, usually early. But injury and bad breaks have taken him out of it.
Well, this time it's his own doing. And he's certainly had some opportunities with Carmichael messing it up. Carmichael's been trying to lose this thing for the first 3 rounds. Now he's starting to get it squared away. Uh-oh, that's Villeman.
9:34, David Villeman, who comes off a victory in the last round. He's not happy at all.
Southwick has not been good to that guy. It looked like the bars were bent. I don't remember seeing him go down, but it seemed like the bike was tweaked a little bit. He may have been favoring his left side a little. Look at Ricky. Just nobody goes through that corner wide open. Now, let me just tell you right now, if you have aspirations of being a motocross champion or a supercross champion, you better like to go fast and like that rush, that scary feeling you get when you're a kid and you go on a roller coaster that your dad made you go on. That's how Ricky feels, and that's his drug. He's got to have that to go this fast. I mean, it's scary to go that fast at times, and it doesn't bother him.
He's got a good chance to take over the points lead now. Ricky Carmichael, looking for the sweep, is looking for his first overall victory of the season. Join us June 30th for round 5 from Budds Creek, Maryland.
Slugger, we haven't got.
A great pitcher, we haven't got.
A great ball club, we haven't got. What have we got?
We've got heart. All you really need is heart. When the odds are saying you'll never win, that's when the grin should start.
Now you're getting the idea.
Baseball Tonight, every night at 10 and midnight on ESPN.
We're back in Southwick, Massachusetts, where Ricky Carmichael is putting the clamps on a sweep, a 1-1 sweep here for a possible overall victory. Mike LaRocco in 5th spot. He's pretty much all alone right now.
There's not a whole lot he can do about it either. He's just looking at the watch going, please show me that white flag. Because earlier in the week down here testing, he injured his shoulder. We talked about Langston putting in such a tough ride, how much pain he was in. I don't know that LaRocco's is that serious, but it's still bad. The pain is there, and he's fighting through it.
Wyndham still on the chase for John Dowd. There, LaRocco, one of the 5 winners, previous winners of this race, that appeared at the gate to start it.
That was a pretty talented starting gate. The start of this first moto, and people are asking me who's going to win today. I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. Ricky says he's going to, but he said that at the other rounds too, and he hasn't. So the international flavor in this race, the fact that Henry came back out and was up front for a while, Dowd having a good ride. What a great day of racing.
Well, it's made it fascinating for the fans.
They're getting an education and good show. And, you know, Kevin's lines, I don't really notice so much difference in the way he's riding this moto, other than just the lines he's taking seem to be flowing a little bit better. He's able to hop over some of the big holes and get in and out of the berms a little bit better, and that just makes you feel better, more confident, more comfortable on the motorcycle. He's getting a better result here.
Had his worst finish moto-wise in the first one here at Southwick, a 6th. That was after coming off a 2nd overall, a 3-2 in the last race.
Yeah, this moto's just going a little bit better for him. Back there's back in, hopped out over the berm, and it kind of worked out good. It sliced him right back into the inside. If he gets Dowd here, I'll be impressed. I know Dowd isn't going to give it up. And Carmichael already talking about how hard it is to get by those 4-strokes.
Looks like a Honda down. Sebastian Tortelli, number 13. More bad luck for Sebastian.
I'll tell you, I wish I could have talked with him when he was thinking of running that number. Why push it?
Well, some people asked him, and he says, hey, number 13's not bad luck in France, but heck, he's not racing in France.
Yeah, that's just, I can't believe that it's a guy that much talent, who works that hard, is willing to do whatever it takes, in the points lead 3 years in a row, and he's losing it again.
Ricky Carmichael. You could say he's back on track, but I don't think he uses a track. He changes his line so much.
Yeah, you know, he can go wherever he needs to go. He's like Travis. Both these guys, I mean, they're the future. And they can do anything. They can ride indoors, they can ride outdoors, they can do things that, whatever it takes to get it done, and it's not pretty, but it doesn't matter. It's results.
You saw the graphic there that he led 14 laps of the first moto. If he ends up leading all these laps, he will end up leading 32 laps on the afternoon. Incredible here at Southwick as he weeds his way now through lap riders.
How about records, though, Art? I mean, he's got an opportunity this year.
This would be his 35th national win, tying him with Brock Glover, 3rd on the all-time list. And he's only 2 away from tying Bob Hanna, who's on the top of that list with 37 AMA national victories.
And he's 21. Or 2. Is he 22 now?
I'm pretty sure he's 22.
Hey, anything under 25, to me, you're just a kid. He's got a long ways to go. And he talks about only wanting to ride 4 or 5 more years. We'll see. This is way too much fun to give up. That's how lap riders go through there. I wouldn't recommend it. You see Ferry, that gap has gotten a little bit bigger, but it stayed the same after that. Ferry is moving it. We've already seen how fast Carmichael's going out front. Ferry is pretty close to matching that pace, and he's really pulled away from Dowd now.
Things stayed the same, though. Ferry would just miss the podium with the 2nd place finish here.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be looking at the way the first moto went. He got collided there with Smets, went down, and he put in a good ride to get back up to 7th from 12th. Here, I mean, you look at this national championship series like a 24-round fight. And here in this round, he's finishing 2nd. The guy that's been pretty much the fastest rider on the track at every race so far. So he's got to be proud of that and know that in the long haul, he's in there.
This would be his 5th 2nd place finish on the year, showing good consistency.
I think he's pretty hot commodity right now with the teams. I don't think he's going to have any trouble locking down a pretty sizable contract for the future.
Ricky Carmichael on his way to making history.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
When Suzuki introduced the original 4-stroke DR 350 and dual sport 350, it rocked motorcycling. Now, it's happening all over again. Introducing the all-new DRZ400 and DRZ400S from Suzuki. 4-stroke thunder. On-road or off.
I'm Jason Williams, and this is ESPN the magazine's brand new mascot, Maggie the Magazine. I guess she's supposed to represent how great the magazine is, but mostly she just gives people the creeps.
The Chevy Trucks AMA Motocross Series is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Honda, the company that defines performance on two wheels. Performance first. Welcome back to the ending of round 4 of our Chevy Trucks Motocross Series. And it's Ricky Carmichael who's putting the clamps on this one.
Finally started to back the pace down. He's looking around at second place, which is still Ferry. I think Ferry backed it down first, going, I don't want to go this fast anymore. It's almost over. So Ricky, he noticed that he had a pretty good size lead and figured, you know, it's been a long day. Why not just cruise a little bit?
Looking for his 5th moto win on the season, Ricky Carmichael. And what a tremendous race he's put together here in the 2nd moto. Davey Combs is with his mechanic, Chad Watts. Davey?
Well, Chad, with Tortelli having a lousy moto and you guys going 1-1, you're back in control of the Outdoor Nationals.
Yeah, here we are. I mean, it's been a pretty good day considering the way it's been all year. And we're actually pretty fortunate for where we're at coming into here, considering all the not the so great, not so bad first motos. But he done his book work, and we're making him happy. And there's still 8 more races after this, so we'll just prepare for Budge Creek after this event.
You guys made it through all that bad luck. It looks like now it's other riders starting to have some inconsistencies.
Well, I mean, you can pretty much count on this outdoor series that everyone's going to have a bad moto or a bad finish overall. It's not like Supercross. So I don't wish that luck upon anyone, but by stats, I mean, that's the way it's going to be, and we just got to capitalize off every little bit we can get.
Well, they take nothing for granted, do they, David?
No, the other thing I really like about those two is they always talk about, you know, we need to win both motos. It's just a disappointment if they don't, and they expect that. You never hear that kind of talk out of anybody else. It's always, well, we hope, it would be nice if we, that kind of stuff, not we expect it. It's a very different result in your mind before you even do it. If you're expecting something, that's the way Ricky approaches the races.
Well, John Dowd certainly has not given up 3rd place yet. I mean, he is badgering Kevin Windham for that spot.
Kevin's fighting here. The first moto looked like he gave up just a little bit down the end. His guys were going by him. It wasn't clicking. And you could see him just, his riding style. He just, well, you know what, I'll just take what I can get here. But this moto, he's fighting for a little bit more.
Ricky Carmichael looking for victory as he sees the white flag for the final lap. You know, with him also, Kawasaki starts setting all kinds of records. They had back-to-back winners here at Southwick in '93 and '94 as that battle continues between Windham and John Dowd.
Well, only one more lap. If you're Kevin, you're going, I can do it. I can hold this guy off one more time. Take the best line, cover the one corner where he's trying to get in and wheel on me. And for Dowd, you're thinking, oh, I got this guy. One more. Both of them are confident they can get the job done. This should be good.
Dowdy tries the outside. Will that 4-stroke power work against the 2-stroke Suzuki? Dowd on the outside, and of course the hometown fans are cheering for him.
I think these guys are exhausted right now. I think John Dowd had the hometown thing going there. That might have made the difference because it looked like Kevin sat down way too much in that whole section when John got by him. If he would have just stood up and wheeled over a few of those holes, I don't think Dowd would have had the speed to get by.
Now this would give Dowdy 2nd place on the podium if he holds it. Ricky Carmichael, meanwhile, becomes the first rider in Southwick history to win back-to-back races.
And you really see a difference in speed, don't you? When you go back to Ricky, the way he went around that corner approaching that uphill was like he was on a 500. He reads the soil so well. I've always admired the way that my neighbor, Victor Sheldon, one of the great jet ski racers, how they can read the water and figure out the smoothest way through there. These guys do the same thing on land, and it's just amazing to watch.
Well, this track is very much like water. It changes every lap, and the checkers are out for Ricky Carmichael. his first overall victory of the season, and as well takes over the points lead. This famous track which holds so many rich memories. Ezra Lusk won his first 250 National here. Volan won his first 125 National. Jeremy McGrath won a race here on way to a title that many said he would never win. But who can forget Doug Henry rocketing off the hillside right behind me, crashing, breaking his back, only to come back 3 years later and win here at Budds Creek on way to the 250 National Championship. The most famous crash in motocross history, and then glory in the long run for Doug Henry. Several GPs have been run here at Budds Creek. Who can forget the scene in 1999 with Kevin Windham, the American flag draped around his shoulders after beating Belgian Stefan Everts and the rest of the international field. Well, David Bailey, this track was deluged with rain for 3 straight days. It quit last night. The track, though, now is in perfect condition.
Well, like Mount Morris, they've had their share of mud races here, but today they've gotten really lucky with the weather. The track is perfect. They did a lot of work with the dozers to make sure these guys had great conditions. Now let's join Davey Coombs over at the starting line.
Guys, the track was so muddy yesterday, they asked me to do the helmet cam during the qualifying. So I'm actually sitting here on the cement starting gate. You can see the guy holding the 32nd board down there. This is the 125 LCQ. Card sideways is going to be a second gear start. That's what it looks like. Tight first turn, guys going down. Crashing everywhere. Off the top. Down the bottom. Off the top. That's the Henry double. Really tough section. Look at the guys paddling down through there. I'm doing it too. Not the place you want to stall. Down the bottom. You ain't time to shift gears here. Very short technical section. So let's make it even worse. Down in the bottom, they just added this today. Would have been fast, but as it is, it's just rough.
Travis Pastrana's coming off his second win in a row, taking over the points lead for the first time of the season on the Suzuki point standings. He leads by 8, but for the latest development, here's Davey.
Well, one guy who's not going to be on the start for the first moto is KTM Red Bull rider Grant Langston. Grant, I understand you just can't go because of the shoulder injury.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty unfortunate. I got injured last week in Southwick, and you know, I rode Southwick, and this week it's just too painful. I could barely hold on and practice, and it's unfortunately I'm going to have to be sitting out, which, you know, really hurts a lot.
Exactly what is the schedule right now? How long do you think you'll be out?
We're not 100% sure yet, because it looks like I'll have to have the operation, because it's a pretty bad separation, you know. All the ligaments are snapped, so it looks like an operation, and that could be out from between, they estimate, depending on the damage, 3 to 6 weeks. So hopefully it's the 3 weeks rather than the 6 weeks.
You won the first 2 nationals. You were the points leader. How disappointed are you now to basically hand the title over to a Pastrana or a Mike Brown?
Yeah, it you know, it hurts real bad. You know, maybe if I was in 5th place in the point standing, it would have been all right. But to get injured while leading the series, you know, it really kind of hurt a little bit. But after, you know, after I was able to ride in Southwick, I thought maybe I could get around this injury. But it's just no ways. I cannot.
All right. Tough break, Grant. We're sorry to miss you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Grant Langston out here at Budds Creek.
Really sad news competitive-wise as we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid. Travis Pastrana, Mike Brown now has to take a leadership role in trying to make a points race out of it with Brock Sellards and the others. The veteran Larry Ward, who's had a very good season this year, coming back after not running the Supercross Tour. Roderick Tane riding with injuries as well. Danny Smith. Keith Johnson has had a couple of top